Good morning, guys, and welcome to Bar Chat. This is the Morning Gallop, your daily Cheltenham fix. I'm here with, I've got Paul Rooney and Rodders is with us, and Iver's with us, who's going to give us some super tips for the day. Where do we start, Rooney? That was a shock yesterday.
Well, I was going to say, we'll come on to Iver in a minute, what it was like at the actual course, but it was an unbelievable day's racing. I think we all got off to a great start in the first with Kolpek, ran really well. Those accumulators were looking fantastic all the way up until the second race. And then it all started to go a little bit south, and then Champion Hurdle even crazier still. So what was your view of the day, Iver, from the course?
I love the way you said that the accumulators were all going well after the first race. You really need them going well after the third and fourth race. Come out
well, the excitement was still there for one race.
Yeah, that's real gambler speak. It was all going so well. We just had 3/4 of it to go. Where did it all go wrong? Well, it all went wrong in the second race with Madri when it nosedived at a fence and it would have won that race by a country mile, and then it would have got a little bit more exciting. But never mind that. I mean, we have to talk about the Champion Hurdle. We just have to talk about that race because that was I have to say that I was all over Constitution Hill. I think that Constitution Hill still would have won the race, but I can't prove that. But I was so impressed with the way State Man was going. State Man was absolutely on the bridle. And that is totally inexplicable to me that State Man fell. For the two of them to fall, and then the carnage in behind as well was just amazing. And I mean, I've never seen this before. I'm a big follower of place pots. I think that the tote is the one loophole left in racing where you can actually make a lot of money for a little outlay and actually can get some value. But before the Champion Hurdle, the place pot was paying something like £30. After the Champion Hurdle, which was the fifth leg, it was £3,000. I've never seen that leap in a place pot ever. It landed up paying an enormous £11,000. So for those punters out there.
Ivor, can I take you back to just Constitution Hill for a second? I saw Nicky Anderson in the actually I don't know where he was on the course anyway. He was on the course and he said he was with the owner, and they were saying that as the horse in front jumped the fence flicked back and hit him in his stride, and that caused him to come down. Well, I've looked at this, I don't know, endless amount of times. We were looking at it just after the race. That didn't look like it happened at all. It just looked like, to me, he got it all completely wrong. I don't know what your view was.
Well, I didn't see anything other than just a mistake. I didn't see anything other than a mistake. But, in real time, and then on the obviously there's repeats on the screens and we were all watching and everything, but by then there was such a buzz around it. It was one of it was incredible, really. It was incredible. I mean, I actually liken it to Annie Power when Annie Power lost at Cheltenham that day. I was literally standing next to someone that it cost £500,000. It cost him £500,000, and he was calmer than me. It cost me a few grand, and I was seething. But the silence, the ooh and the ah from the crowd was very similar when Constitution came down yesterday. Yeah, absolutely gutting, because you want to see the best horses win races if they can. That's the beauty of jumps racing, they put the jumps there for a reason. It doesn't make it straightforward, and that's why when you see all these on shots and you look at the mess of the Queen Mother Champion Chase, which we're going to speak about in a little while, I know, you look at how many odds-on favourites have lost that race. It's because they're going helter-skelter and they're going over really stiff fences. Jumping is an absolute priority at Cheltenham, and there's no safe way to jump in a helter-skelter quick race, and the mistakes happen. That's why it's jumps racing. That's what keeps it so thrilling.
Yeah. Do you know? I actually had. Sorry, Rod. I just heard that there was a guy I saw online, and he actually has a theory that Constitution Hill is because it was a slow race yesterday. I know you're saying how fast are going on, but if they didn't go a gallop, and there's people looking at his form over the last 12 months, and he's like 20 seconds slower than he's been. I mean, is that just? I mean, I know, Rod. You've said this to me before, that sometimes whoever's running dictates the pace of the race.
Absolutely,
and so is that figure, relevant? I guess is the question.
Not to me. Sorry, I'm going to answer that. No, it's not relevant. It's not relevant. Each race is run differently, and you see exactly the same in athletics. If the pacemakers don't go as quick as you want the pacemakers to do, the times are slower. And it's very much the same in racing. In my opinion, 20 seconds slower. When you watch this prep race, Constitution Hill, it was as good as ever. So I believe it would have won. It would have won clear. Although we'll never know because State Man was going so well. And when that came down, the actual feeling in the crowd was just the same as when Constitution Hill came down, because that was the winner. State Man was about to win its second champion hurdle. That puts it in the pantheon of great horses. And it came down. It's just inexplicable. Never seen anything like it in a race like that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, let's look ahead. Let's look ahead for today. Another big. You're expecting. I mean, obviously the bookies are very happy this morning, I would think, after yesterday's. But today could be a different story.
Of course, I don't think that the bookies took a good hiding yesterday. Although all the bookies I know, they only moan. They moan when they're losing. You never hear a word from them when they're winning, just in case people catch on to it. That's my theory anyway. So today's a fascinating card. There's some really, really good racing today, and I'm quite excited about it. And right from the start, you've got a match, because here's one thing with yesterday and going into today. It's the first time that the Irish haven't had a huge lead going into day two.
Yeah, we're 4-3 up, I hear.
Yeah, and I really like that. Well, that is the rest of the world, as opposed to, because that was a French horse that won the last one. So,
okay.
I don't think that it goes Ireland, England, France, or Ireland, England, France, Wales, because Wales had a winner as well. I think that it is, it's us against them, isn't it? The rest of the world against the Irish, and so it should be. Today,
Ivor, can I ask you a question just before you go into predictions? I'd just seen that there was snow overnight.
Yeah,
what's that going to have done to the ground? Have you heard is it still good?
Yeah, no, it will make it. It could make it that kind of holding ground, which I don't think it's going to affect a lot at all. The best horses will still win these races that should do. If it goes gluey, then that can affect some horses, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think there's enough of it to turn it into a slosh pit. It will make it. It might make it slightly sticky, I guess, but not much more than that. And I've just had a report from the course from people that are there to say that it's all gone from the centre of the course now. It's gone. It's not there.
Okay. So, all right. Well, let's start with the 1:30. Let's go for tip of the first race of the day.
Well, so it's the English versus the Irish in this race, no doubt, absolutely no doubt. So, Final Demand against New Lion. I feel like I should have worn my England shirt today because I'm feeling really patriotic, and I want to go with the English angle here, and I want the Skeltons to get us off to a winner with New Lion. I think that stands a great chance. It's a speed horse, New Lion. Final Demand is a staying chaser in the making, without a shadow of a doubt. And I like the speed horse in this race. I think.
What do you think about Gordon Elliott's horse, Yellow Clay?
Yeah, no, I mean, got a chance, but I think this one's about the top two for me.
Okay.
That's what I think. Yeah,
I New Lion actually.
Yeah. Well, New Lion. I even think there's a little bit of value there. It's kind of out to 5-2, and when you listen to the Skeltons, they're pretty hot on this.
Well, there's nobody better than preparing a horse for the festival, is there?
No.
Skelton.
No. They are the owner, and they've got some serious interest today as well, one way and another.
Iver, the other horse I've heard an each way, and I don't just wanted to get your take, was Predator's Gold. I seem to have seen that one cropping up quite a lot. Have you got any take on that horse at all, or?
No, I'm going to be honest and say I haven't. I'm not going to tell you that I've got interesting things.
It was just one I saw come up a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is Cheltenham, so I'm just getting my betting screens up so I can actually refer to the horses properly, because at the moment it keeps switching off for some bloody reason. Really annoying. Anyway, yes. So I think that if you've got something that you think is going to give you a bit of a value run at Cheltenham, you simply have to have a few quid on it, because particularly, there are several of the races today where you've got some very short price favourites. If you think you can get those favourites beat, then that's how you're going to make really good money. And,
okay, so let's go 130 New Lion. If you were to have it each way, what would it be?
Oh, dearie me. I've really not considered the each way, and I'm just getting it up there right now. So bear with me 1 second. I'm not sure on the each way for that one.
Okay.
I'd rather go with what you're saying, because I really haven't gone the each way on this race at all.
Okay, well let's move to the two. Go on. Yeah, go on.
I'll go the Yellow Clay, 5-1. Gordon Elliott's horse.
That's a very safe each way bet, isn't it? You know, 5-1 each way. It's just a no. It's just if you really fancy one like that, it's just a no lose bet.
Yeah.
I've gone Tristan Davis, Potter's Charm out of 12 to 1.
Now, do you know what? I've written Potter's Charm down somewhere, not because I think it could win, but because I'm doing that patriotic thing.
Yeah.
and that is the truth. And Potter's Charm, believe it or not, I was once a Surrey double snooker champion. So I like my snooker as well as many other things. So Potter's Charm just caught my eye as again, if you
that's how I pick horses, Ivor. When it rings a bell.
Now, yeah. We might need to keep you out of this conversation.
Right, guys.
After last night's result, I was going to say after last night's results, Liverpool didn't fare well, but neither did AFC Wimbledon.
Oh, we're not talking about football this morning, are we? Let's not talk about football. To be beaten by Cheltenham I was on my way back from Cheltenham and we got beaten by Cheltenham. It's outrageous. Outrageous. So,
right, guys, listen, race number 2, Broadway Novices Chase. Factor File is the, very strong favourite. Can you see beyond that?
In the next race? In the
2 o'clock.
In the 2 o'clock, it's Ballyburn.
Ballyburn's favourite in the 2.
Have I skated one ahead? Go on, let me
go
go up.
Jumped.
Go on. Go on, carry on.
So Ballyburn. So there's great football connection here because of who it's owned by. I really like. So I know members of the family that own Ballyburn. They are raving about it. They've always raved about it. They've been more right than wrong. I think it's. I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole at 8-13 on, which is what I'm seeing at the moment. I wouldn't. That doesn't mean to say it won't win the race. It's a worthy favourite, but 3 miles, Group 1. It's made a couple of jumping mistakes in the past. We all saw what happened yesterday with Marlborough. 1 mistake, end of race. I would oppose. With an each way bet, I'd go against Ballyburn today. Although I expect it to win the race. I think Better Days Ahead, Gordon Elliott's. There's been money for that, and I always look for money. And there's been real money for Better Days Ahead. I think it's available. 15-2, 8-1 as an each way shot. That probably would be where I'd go, but not at all surprised if Ballyburn wins. I'll be really pleased for the connections that I know. It's not a race that I would get heavily involved in.
Just on that, Ivor, I've had 3 different lads from 3 different groups send me Gorgeous Tom today. I think it's Gorgeous Tom in that race. Is it Gorgeous Tom? Yeah. I just thought it was odd because they're all unconnected.
Yeah, well, there's been a sniff of money for that.
Yeah.
So that's no surprise if the word is out and the word is going around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is amazing. You know, I sent a tip to a pal of mine when Heracles was running and actually won at Newbury, and when we were in the winners' hut afterwards drinking our champagne, a pal of mine came up to me and he said, "You're not going to believe it. I got this from my mate in Thailand, who I have never met, who had got in Thailand the exact tip that I had sent to my mate somewhere else." So, you know, it could be one of those talking tips that's just doing the rounds. But yeah, I mean, yeah, listen, Henry de Bromhead, you've always got to respect anything that he puts in at Cheltenham. He's never knowingly put a non-trier out there, as far as I know. So I wouldn't be at all surprised. What does depress me slightly is that there's not a single English runner in that race. None of them.
Yeah.
They're all Irish runners. You know, not like, yeah, we have to have the Irish guys. We had a great crack with so many of the Irish guys yesterday. It was absolutely brilliant fun, and I love the flavour of the meeting. But to see a race like this with no English,
Well, I'm
shocking.
Ivor. I'm going. If in doubt, go Mullins. So I'm going for Dancing City.
Yeah, Dancing City's got a chance without a doubt. You know, but yeah, Ballyburn. If Ballyburn stands up and jumps, okay, it will win the race. I'm sure of that.
Should win.
But you know, all the others are each way value, whichever one you fancy. And you know, it wouldn't surprise me if Gorgeous Tom got in there. But you know, have we got the 8 runners?
You have 7.
Oh
7.
yeah, well, that would give you why these are all such big prices. So yeah.
So what you're really saying there is Ballyburn and Gorgeous Days ahead is the
Better days ahead, yes.
Better days ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Unless we could put better days ahead together with Gorgeous Tom. I fancy if we rerun them together, we might get somewhere.
All right.
Brilliant. Yes.
So let's go to race number 3.
Okay.
So what do we got in the favourite? Looks to be Aware, is it?
Yeah.
Skelton again.
Yeah. Well, there's been
Laurel
loads of
Cup.
money for this. Loads and loads of money for Be Aware. So, you know, when the Skeltons have got one ready, they've got one ready. I'm cautious. There's also been money for Impostoir, which is a Henderson horse, so you have to respect that.
It's also
there's been money for that. This is one of those where there's money everywhere, but I'm going to tell you which one I fancy. I like Beat the Bat.
Beat the Bat. Okay.
Yep. Mainly because of our cricket this winter. Where they've been beating the bat every time they bowl against England, haven't they? Let's face it. But I do think that this one has got a chance. I think that the rain will have done it a bit of good. I think that it's got quite a lot in its favour. So Beat the Bat, and there's been money for that as well. 12 to 1 into 17 to 2. I'm more likely to listen to that money than the obvious Skelt money 5 to 1 into 7 to 2.
Well, the other thing I was going to mention to you, we had John Joe on last week, and Rooney, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he say he fancied an each way on Gypcot?
He did, yeah. He called that out.
Expected him to run well.
Yeah, Springwell Bay was his favourite of his for the week, but he said he certainly wouldn't discount Gypcot, and it was worth a good look.
I think he said an each way though, didn't he, or did he say on the nose?
I think he said each way.
He said it'd been working. He said it'd been working well. Might be worth an each way bet.
Yeah, it's 11 to 1 at the minute on Paddy Power. I don't know what you've got it on either, Gypcot.
So I'm looking at Betfair because I like to switch over between the sportsbook and the exchange because I use the exchange more than anything. It's 10-1 from where a high of 12-1. So, you know, yeah, I mean, it's a real, it's quite a sticker pin in it job, this one. Again, you know, what have we got here? How many places are they offering? Must be 5 places for this.
So, Ivor, you've gone back, beat the bat to win. Give us your each way.
Oh no, beat the backs an each way shot. I'm sorry, I should have made
they're
that
both
clear.
each ways. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't have one on the nose on this.
I personally wouldn't, unless I was going to. If I was going to back Be Aware, you know, I can't back an each way shot just to get 2/3 of my money back. I can't ever do that. I don't like that. I know people that do, and they all think they're very clever when they come second. But I think if you add it up over the years, you'll probably do better just by having double the stake on to win. You know.
All right.
Don't be a moron. Get more on.
I love that. So 2 each ways then. Beat the bat, and we've got Gypcott there. Anything?
Yeah.
It sounds very open, this one race.
I'm going, Mark, I'm going Impostoir for JP.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely got a chance. Well, it's 5-1 on the exchange on Betfair on the sportsbook.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's move to the cross country chase. The 320. I haven't got the betting on mine here.
Stumptown's a favourite. 5-2 favourite. Stumptown.
Yeah, I mean this is not my favourite betting heat. I don't profess to. I quite enjoy watching it as a spectacle, and I've backed the winner a few times. When Tiger Roll won it, it was spectacular. It was amazing. I want to go. I'm going to be patriotic here. I'm purely patriotic, and it's just we've got nothing in there except for Mr. Kofi, which is a Henderson horse.
I've heard people saying that as well. Yeah,
that came through to me this morning as well on those same ones with Gorgeous Tom.
Yeah. Loads of money for it. But then, I look at just about everything in this race, and it's been, and it has been, they've all been heavily back. Now, there's one that I did look at earlier, funny enough, and that has halved in price, and it has got probably my favourite current jockey on it, in Sean Bowen. So the Gopher, at 10-1, it was 20-1 overnight. That's quite a serious punt. But then nearly every horse in this race has been punted one way and another. I think in the top 6 in the betting, I can only see one that's drifted. So and that's only a point. There's the winner.
What about Galvin, 4th in the national last year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, it's a Gordon Elliott horse. As is the Gopher. I think that this is a race that it feels like if you shook all the trainers' hands, you'd be counting your fingers afterwards in this race. It is really. I can't.
So if I forced you to have a bet, it would be Mr. Kofi each way or Gopher. The Gopher. They're the 2 picks for you. Is that
the
correct?
Gopher for the jockey, Mr. Kofi, because I'd love to see all those Irish Raiders get stuffed.
All right. Okay. Well, look. Let's move on to
big race of the day.
Yeah, the Queen Mother. If I could.
Now we're talking.
So let's get into the. Sorry, guys. My for some reason my internet is being really slow. Has anyone got it up that can just take over while I just sort this out?
John Bond's a favourite, and all going well, it should walk it, but another JP horse. What do you think, Ivor?
Okay, this is the race. I'm excited to talk about this race. I love this race. It's a spectacle. It is, it tests everything about these horses. It is, one of the three massive races of this meeting, and I think that this is so. John Bon, I love John Bon. Everywhere you can't not love John Bon, but it's never won at HQ. It's never won at Cheltenham. I had a conversation with the with.
Is it run there? Is it run there, Ivor?
Yeah,
it's run and not.
It has run there. Yes.
Okay.
So I had a conversation several couple of months ago with Tony Bloom. Very, very what a lovely gentleman that man is. And I said, give me something for Cheltenham, please. And he gave me Energumene. Yeah, Energumene. And that has been backed quite heavily overnight. It was 15-2. It's now 6-1, 5-1 in places.
Has it again? Has that run at Cheltenham?
Yes, and it's won at Cheltenham. Yeah. It's got course and distance form. It fell last year. I think that Tony Bloom is someone. There are people to like in the gambling world, and then there are people to like and respect. And I really like and respect Tony Bloom. I really do. He's actually a tremendously nice guy. And he actually really surprised me when I got to meet him. It surprised me. He was, he was thrilled to talk racing. He was thrilled to talk about my horse, and I was thrilled to talk about his horses. But he was very, very pleasant with it. So, I'm thinking of him today, and I would really like him to have that winner again. There is. If John Bon wins, no one will be surprised. He looks, his last couple of races have been very, very, very impressive indeed. There's nothing against it today, other than that sneak of it's not won at the course before.
It's a massive price difference, isn't it, for a horse that hasn't won there for every other contender? It's just such a huge gap. Yeah,
I mean, the thing is with John Bon. John Bon's got a fantastic cruising speed, and it's been jumping really really well. So there comes a point where Desert Orchid won a Gold Cup. It should never won a Gold Cup because it hated going that way round, and it was no fan of Cheltenham, but it was by far the best horse in training at that time. And, even though it had things against it, it proved that it was still the best horse. And that's why it's become an all-time great. So, John Bon, this is John Bon's big acid test today. We will see. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he wins, but I'm going to get involved in Energumene. That's for sure.
How many runners are there, Ivor?
8.
Well, yeah. So you can have a little bit of each way fun with that.
Nice each way bet.
Energumene, the only thing I'm reading here about him, he is 11 years old. There's only been 3 horses since 1959 that have won that are over 10. My first question is that a concern? And have you considered Marine Nationale, who's won again on the course, won the 2023 Supreme? Is he another one to look at, perhaps?
100%. As I said, this is Cheltenham. This is Cheltenham. This is not normal racing where you can start putting lines through loads of horses and say that's got no chance, that's got no chance, that's got no chance. You can do that every single day. You can it's easier to pick out the ones that haven't got a chance, but at Cheltenham, every single one of them is there for a reason. They are all there because their owners, their trainers, and everybody have put them there because they think they've got a chance of outrunning their odds, doing better than everybody thought they would do, and sometimes picking up a massive prize. So the truth of it is, Marine National has got a great chance in the race. It's 9-2. It's not 9-2 for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
so we'll go on the nose with an Augermain.
Well, at 6-1, if you want to, you want to be a little bit, you can do it each way. And then if John Bond does show its true colours and runs its usual solid race, then you're going to make a very small profit. But a profit is a profit.
And would you have an each way at all on this one? Anything you fancy a bit? Something a bit?
No, not really. For me, as I said, every single one of them in there is to be respected. I mean, you got Captain Guinness. I mean, there's a tip in itself at Cheltenham, isn't it? If you're one of those punters that goes, ooh, I like the sound of that name, and they're backing it, it's only because they think that at 14-1, if they back it, they can sink a few pints of the black stuff. There was enough of that going down well yesterday, I can tell you. So at 14-1, yeah. I can see that as an each way shot, but then Liberty Hunter, that's had a bit of my money in the past. So it is what you fancy in there, bearing in mind that if John Bond runs its true race and shows its true colours, it will win that race.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm opposing it with an Augermain.
Let's move on to the 440.
Here's an easy one.
Unexpected Party.
Yes, I mean,
Is that the favourite? That's the favourite, yeah.
Yeah. So I've got 3 down here.
Lovely.
I've got 3. Obviously,
to win first of all, are they all each ways?
Well, they're all of a price where if you are an each way punter, then you can back them all each way.
Go for it.
And you shouldn't be losing too much money if you do that. But so I've got 3. Unexpected Party won this last year. The one thing to bear in mind with it, and again, it's a Skelton horse. You expect it to be well prepared. It will run its race today, I think, but it's not as well handicapped as it was last year.
£6 up.
Yep. Now that to me can make a massive difference, and it'll be a different run race to last year. It's not going to pan out exactly the same. When you watch it, when you watch last year's race, it absolutely pinged the last. It pinged it beautifully and ran on really, really, really well. But it didn't really get away from them going up the hill. That £6 could anchor it. On top of that, to produce another round of jumping like it did last year, that could be difficult. So, but it's in my calculations without a doubt. The other one that's in there, I have got. Hang on a minute, I'm just checking it's still in there. Ooh, what's happened here? I was looking at Third Time Lucky. Oh no, here it is. Bit of money for that one. Fergal O'Brien. It's been tipped up. Well, one of the big TV punters tipped that up. I kind of sniffed that out as an outlier. There's a lot of places available in this race. Most of the firms are betting 5 places. So as a live outsider, I think Third Time Lucky, which it's just gone from 18 to 14.
I was just putting a bet on then, Ivan, and it's dropped from 18 to 14 and declined the bet.
I know.
Literally.
I know. Yeah, there you go.
You're obviously moving the market with this podcast. I was going to say,
this is the power of this podcast, without a doubt. There's been quite a few that's happened with. Oh, and I'll tell you a funny story about that in a minute, about moving prices. Is absolutely incredible, really. So that's on third time. And then there's just one that I think has been the one that would be a really popular win for the Irish, because it is a perpetual trier. Hits the post quite a lot, but to me has got a race like this in him, and that is My Mate Mozzie.
That's my choice.
Yeah, I think that most of these good horses like this, they have their day, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if My Mate Mozzie had his day today.
He's a course and distance winner,
Yeah.
Iver. So
Yeah.
you got to be able to stay at Cheltenham, and if you've done it once, you're capable of doing it again.
Absolutely, and yeah, as I said, there'll be no excuses with the going today for
No.
anything. For anything,
Yeah.
if they want it soft, well, it's going to be soft, but not that soft. If they want it good to soft, then it ain't going to be that good, but it ain't going to be that soft. There's no excuses with the going today for me. Which is what that's how we all love Cheltenham. We love Cheltenham when it's going like this. For me, you get the best horses on the day that jump. They have to jump. They will win the races. I love that.
All right, guys, let's move to the champion, to the bumper, basically. If you wanted a hard pick, here's one for you. Either of you, or have you got you nailed on with anything? Surely not.
Well, I mean, this is. I mean, it's ludicrous.
Yeah,
Absolutely ludicrous. Yeah.
How many horses has Mullins got in this?
Oh, he always has dozens.
He's got the favourite, Copacabana.
Well, Bambino Fever is his
favourite, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. But I fancy Copacabana and Mullins.
Yeah. I mean that is so. On its first run, I did have a tip for Bambino Fever, and we had a good bet on that, and that was a decent winner. It's the bumper. I don't like bumpers. I must be honest. I like watching them because you get great info for the future, but I don't really like emptying my wallet out on this one. I mean, you can see again, Harry Skelton could be having a great day today. Fortune de Mer is into 11-1, but I don't really know what happened to it in its last race. I don't really. I'm surprised at that level of it was out to 16-1. It's into 11-1 now. That's a heck of a move. Bear in mind, this is all Betfair prices I'm giving you here. Yeah. What else have I got here?
So give us a couple of each ways that you
chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give you the Skelton horses an each way shot, Fortune de Mer, because that's serious money there. I do like Bambino Fever. I know it's 7-2, but oh god, I quite like that. No dramas this end. I've got written down as well. Where's that? No drama this end. Harry Cobden and Paul Nicholls. Now, Harry Cobden. Oh, I've got Harry Cobden. And Nicholls, bit of money for that. It won its first race. Could be a player. Could be an each way shout. As I say, yeah, it won a 2 mile bumper at Warwick. No dramas this end, and it actually won that pretty well. And if it improves enough, that it could be a player. But we traditionally don't win the bumper, do we? So yeah, we let's swim against that tide. Let's swim against the tide all the way. Let's see if we. So I'm gonna go Fortune de Mer. I'm gonna go with a very patriotic. What was it called again? I've lost it. No, yeah, no drama this end. No drama this end. I'll say that to the missus. If we don't have winners today, no drama this end whatsoever, love. We'll see what we can do.
Well, look, guys, let's quickly have a rundown then. Race number 1, Final Demand, New Lion. Rodders, you fancy an each way on Yellow Clay. The other mention was Potter's Charm. Race number 2, Ballyburn. Again, for on the nose, each way, Better Days Ahead. Either race 3, both each ways, Beat the Bat. Or Gypcot was more our suggestion, just off the back of what John Joe says. He's looking good at home. Race number 4, Mr. Coffee and the Gopher, both the Gopher, sorry, both each way. In the Queen Mother, and you, what do we have in there? Sorry, Emergamain, that's right.
Easy and for you to say.
Sorry, mate.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I got it. And then 440 each way, unexpected party, or third time lucky, or my mate Mozzie, and then in the bumper, the lottery, fortune demur, Bambino fever, or no drama this end. I think we've given
Calypso
everyone
chance.
a fair Calypso chance. You fancy, D?
That's what
Yeah,
I fancy. Gordon
got
Elliott
that
is one of
one.
my favourite trainers.
You got them in there.
Where is that? I didn't see that.
Do what,
Calypso.
mate?
Calypso
Oh,
chance.
I've got
Start with
it,
a
yeah, I got
K.
it now.
Start with a
9
K.
to 2.
Yeah. I mean, again, Gordon Elliott's yard. When they back Gordon Elliott's yard, I always look for his second string. That's me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
That's
we've got
my
to ask
thing.
you. We got to ask you, Ivor, before we go. Your horse ran yesterday. Well, I just caught the end of it just when we were setting up. You were disappointed with the ride. Is that fair to say, or am I being a bit unfair there?
Well, I wouldn't say that publicly, but yes.
Yeah. He seemed to be riding very wide. He was very wide. I expected him, and from the start he was wide. And we were saying when watching it, why isn't he following the paint, so to speak? But he must run twice as far being out there.
Yeah, so we jumped superbly. Yeah, I think I did tell you yesterday we're a great jumper. We jumped superbly. Had one scruffy jump at the first water jump, and that didn't do anything to us over that distance. They were going really slow. The first, the race didn't develop until 3 out. They were going really slow. We were kept out the back. We really shouldn't have done that. It was frustrating and some. Really, it ran on really well. We finished a very credible 7th. We hit the line. We didn't stop running. It looks to me, the one thing I would say is that it's its first time over that distance. I think that when we get James Bowen back up on it, I think that we will we'll see a different animal. And I'm not going to tell you the targets, but because that wouldn't be fair on the rest of the guys really. But we've got 2 really big targets for him now. Yeah, we think that we're ready to step him right up. And that's
remind everybody that wasn't listening yesterday the name of the horse so that they've got that one in their locker.
Yeah. Heracles Westwood. Definitely worth putting in the notebook. It has. It didn't have its best of showings yesterday. It did not have a hard race. So a freshen up again, and there are a couple of big targets to aim at. And
so how long will it be till we see it back out, Ivor?
Well,
I know you can't say the race, but
I haven't actually checked the dates of the 2 races we're talking about, but they are real biggies. So
Ivor, you have told me what they are, and I'm not going to say which they are, but they are hell of big races.
Yeah, and we think we might have one that we can slip in there that will do us great credit. The one thing for sure, his jumping is immaculate. If you do watch it back, you'll see. Although you can't see that much of it because where he had it positioned, but obviously I jumped every twig with it. It never touched a bloody twig. It really didn't, and that takes some doing first time up at Cheltenham in a race like that. So all in all, very, very, very happy.
Excellent. All right. Anyone else got anything to add? Oh, I did want to ask you: did you catch up with Brazil? And was there any other faces we should have we missed at Cheltenham yesterday?
No, I missed Mr. Brazil yesterday. I missed him. Kind of on purpose because I was trying not to get drunk yesterday, and if I bump into him, I'm very liable to. Yesterday, my favourite chat of yesterday is a jockey who I hugely admire, but it's got nothing to do with Cheltenham. But he's a good friend, Mr. Jim Crowley. I was talking to him. He was telling me what a wonderful time he's having out in Dubai. He's got his golf handicap down. Be careful. His official handicap. He's still up around 9, but he's playing to a very good 6. So he's been having a great time out there. He was telling me how he won a race in Qatar that was they didn't want to race because the it was actually unsafe. 12 horses slipped in the first race out there, but then they carried on. He rode in one of the Arab races, £250,000 first prize. He won that, and he was like, he said it's just unbelievable. He said, I'm racing 2 days a week, playing golf the rest of it, absolutely loving life, and he's a true gentleman, Jim. He's a true gentleman. So we'll get onto him in the flat season without a doubt. He's one of life's really great guys. So a proper
nice.
So he was my favourite yesterday.
Nice
one, guys. Rooney, Rodders, anything else you want to mention about today? Or
no, I was just thinking, we got a good insight from Iver there about the disappointment last night. The one thing when you're losing money, it's always nice when you're all losing money, isn't it, on the same horse, really? Feels a lot better. You don't feel left out.
That's like 37,000 Scousers last night, mate, I would have thought.
I didn't have a bet last night. I didn't have a bet.
You had a great day yesterday, didn't you, Rooney, with Liverpool?
Awful. Things can only get better.
I have to ask you, and then we're going. In what planet is Nunes the right guy to step up and take a penalty?
I couldn't believe it.
What going through his head?
I called it in extra time. Exactly what was going to happen. It's ridiculous, but anyway.
It was written on his face, wasn't it? I got home in time to see that. You could see it on his face. He was never scoring that penalty.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
And his run-up's ridiculous. The way he kicks a football. Anyway, guys, brilliant. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be on our way to Cheltenham tomorrow, so we'll be on the move. But we'll definitely do same time, 11 o'clock live, YouTube, Facebook. We'll see you all then, guys. Thank you very much, and
brilliant.
Good luck today. Hopefully, we'll be able to report tomorrow that we're all Larry loaded and off to Barbados.
Come on.
Cheers, all.
Cheers,
Iver.
Bye. Right.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.